When it comes to tackling so-called postcode rivalries, you heard on BBC Radio Nottingham with Andy Whitaker earlier this week from the former gang member responsible for an unusual new approach. Marcellus Baz turned his back on a life of crime to set up a boxing school in Carlton, which encourages young people from different neighbourhoods to get together in the ring. And Marcellus is here along with 24-year-old Jerome Thomas, one of the young people who credits the boxing school for helping to turn his life around. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Hi.
Marcellus, if I can ask you first, tell us what led you to set this boxing school up in the first place.
Right, well, basically I was at the gym and we were just doing normal boxercise classes and things like that, and it just started to progress from there. I started to get a lot of people coming to the gym, and plus the other co-founder, the other manager, Kiran Hassan, who's been really influential behind everything as well, was a keen boxing fan, and we both loved the boxing, and I always felt that it really helped me in my life. It kind of bought things, it opened doors for me, it was really good. And because I was passionate as well as she was passionate, we decided to kind of go along with what the people wanted, really. You know what I mean? The community wanted that. We had a lot of youth coming into the centre what were asking for it, so we kind of tried to fulfil their needs, and we opened the club like that. And also I really want to express the fact that the community and the people behind us, what have really helped this club go forward has been amazing, you know, because like one of the things what my dad used to say, peace be upon him, was like one strand on a brush can't brush the floor. When you've got a group of strands on a brush, you can actually move things and you can brush the floor, and that's exactly what we've got. We've got a strong community behind us, and we're walking forward, you know, and making a difference to people's lives.
Before we talk about the boxing school, tell us about how boxing helped your life. You said there that boxing really helped you. How was that? What did it need to do to help?
Well, when I was a youngster, I was a bit hyperactive, and I was into the wrong things. Well, you know, you always look up to people around you, elders and people like that, but the elders around me were into crime and violence and, you know, things like that. I mean, maybe life and society kind of pushes you in that way sometimes. I mean, we can go into that later on anyway, but I just followed people who were around me, and it kind of got me into a bit of trouble, you know, and I was getting into a lot of trouble. I was going down the wrong path. I was doing things, and I ended up finding boxing. And boxing for me has been brilliant because it helped me channel my aggression. It helped me release pent-up aggression or any kind of frustrations, and by meeting certain influential people, they've helped me and guided me onto the right path so I could change my life. And it kind of gave me acceptance, a sense of like acceptance from people who once looked at me as nothing, were kind of looking at me as I was somebody. I was visible and I was accepted by people, and it kind of gave me this belonging, you know. So it really made me a better man for that.
And Jerome, for you, getting involved in this boxing school, tell us how that happened.
Well, it started by my cousin's friend actually attends the gym where I now train. He told me about the classes that had started. I thought, you know, it's something that I'd like to get into. Went along to my first session, met Baz, made me feel very welcome. He always got a big grin on his face, always smiling, you know, and it makes you feel wanted, like somebody believes in you and somebody believes that you can change your life around. And
the crux of this is that there's a sense that you get two people from two different postcodes in Nottingham into a ring and get them essentially to fight it out. Had you had any experience of this so-called postcode rivalry before joining the gym?
I had before, yeah. I'd had quite a bit of problem. My older brother actually got stabbed due to postcode rivalries and that kind of thing, and you know, that was a real eye opener for me. I thought, you know, I've got to change my life around. I saw how it was affecting my mother, you know, my other siblings as well, and I just decided, you know, didn't look back since then.
Marcellus, for some people, they might say that getting two young people in a ring who are from two different parts of Nottingham, who already have history of trouble and are perhaps gang affiliated, and essentially teaching them how to professionally fight is a really bad idea. What do you think about that?
Well, I look at that from a completely different angle, because when I get two individuals coming to the gym, first of all, we teach them respect, we teach them discipline, and anything what is like aggressive or anything what it could potentially flare up or explosive, right? We kind of have to we kind of mentor them as well. We kind of show them a different way of channeling their aggression. Nobody goes into the gym on the first day and goes in the ring and starts boxing. That doesn't happen. That's just a theory what people think happens, you know. When two individuals come, they'll train. We'll show them discipline, respect for each other. They'll train together. They become friends. When they become friends and they've got past these issues, that is only when they go in and spar. And sparring to me is like a chess match. It's much more than going in there and trying to knock two people's heads off, you know. I also believe that if two individuals are trained right, mentally, physically, all right, they can spar. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to say bad things about people, but some clubs will just get somebody fit, throw them in, and they won't show them certain things like defense and certain other coaching aspects of boxing. You know what I mean? It's much more than just going in there and hitting people. You know, it's run by Queensberry rules. It's you have to be very intellectual. You have to be a very clever person as well to be a good boxer. You don't just be off the street and think. I mean, some of these guys are really clever guys. You know, I've got university graduates, and I also believe some of the lads what haven't had the opportunity on the street, if they had the right guidance and they had the right opportunities, could be lawyers and solicitors and barristers, but it's the opportunities have been taken away from them due to certain situations, you see.
Well, Jerome, you mentioned coming from a background where your brother was stabbed and that you were facing perhaps going down the wrong path in life. What was it like to come face to face with the sorts of people that outside of the ring, perhaps that there would have been problems before, but in the ring you have to be a certain way? What was that like?
When we first met, you know, it was a long glance from across the room and that, but like Baz said, you know, he brought us together and he says, look, anything that has happened previously out of the gym stays out there. Now is a new start for us two guys. And, you know, when I was talking to the guys from the Meadows that I'd previously actually had problems with, you know, I didn't realise how alike them I was. Their family was going through the same struggle as my family, you know, and their brothers were in trouble and sisters were in trouble, etc. And, you know, it was like looking in the mirror, you know, and then from that moment on, I just, you know, I felt great respect for the people from the Meadows. You know, before that, it was, I don't like them because their postcode's NG2 or this. And now when you look back, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
You come from St Anne's.
Yeah.
And Marcellus, as we heard there, you've got people from the Meadows, people from Radford, people from all over the place. Are there ever any trouble when you get these young people all together in the same place?
Well, I mean, first of all, there might be a bit of animosity there. There may be a little tense and whatever. And what we try and do is we kind of mentor them, we kind of talk to them, we kind of make them, we kind of show them a different way to life. I mean, a lot of these people, unfortunately, are trapped in this bubble, what they think that they can't come out of. And once you pop your head out of this bubble, you realise there's a brand new world out there, this world what's got so much opportunities. And once you can show these guys a glimpse of that world, right, it breaks down these barriers, you know, and people start looking beyond that. At the end of the day, we're all out here to try and enjoy a life, live a positive life, and make a better life for us, our families and our friends, you know. And if we can achieve that by just showing these guys a little glimpse of what they can achieve, it kind of an intellectual individual will be able to see that and walk forward, you know what I mean, walk forward down the righteous way, where they're not looking at their after their back all the time, or thinking that someone's going to do them, or this is going to happen or that's going to happen, you know.
Tell us your thoughts on the current approaches to tackling these postcode rivalries in Nottingham.
Okay, I mean, we've already talked about how we can bring these young people in and try and like channel their aggression and make them calmer and get on with each other now, right? And what kind of situation what I've noticed and what I feel there's a need to kind of get help on and move forward with is the after part of that. I mean, I get these guys and I can get them it to a certain point. Now, when I hit the brick wall is the fact that when they turn around to me and I say to them, look, don't sell drugs, don't do this, don't do that, and they say, well, how are we going to eat? We can't get a job. We've unfortunately got a criminal record, which is, so whichever job we go for, we apply for, they'll do a CRB on us, and we cannot get a job until that's spent, which takes about 5 years. So for 5 years, these individuals are in limbo. It's a vicious circle. So they can't get a job. They're applying for a job, they get turned away. So the only thing they can do is fall back into crime again. Then they go back into jail, they fall back into crime again. They come out, they can't get a job. So what we've kind of identified is we've got to try and break this vicious circle, So what I want to try and do is form some sort of project and try and get different organizations on board where we can kind of give these individuals opportunities, apprenticeships, some sort of work openings, where we can kind of break the circle, because I'm getting them to a certain point, and if we can work further on and try and get them into some sort of apprenticeship work, some sort of opening, then we can actually break this vicious circle, and we can actually make Nottingham a much better place and our communities a much safer place, and actually give these individuals a sense of acceptance, and give them the chance to make an honest living for themselves.
Jerome, do you think you've got boxing to thank for changing your life around?
I'd say definitely, yeah. If I didn't go to KK Sports and discover boxing and Baz and showed faith in me, I could almost guarantee you I'd still be doing what I was doing before I started boxing. Credit to these